Hello, I'm meteorologist Tom Bird with the National Weather Service with a heads-up weather briefing for strong winds and winter weather Sunday through Tuesday. Here are the likely hazardous weather events expected. A powerful cold front will push into the region, bringing strong and possibly damaging east winds to the area Sunday through Sunday night, with sustained winds of 35 to 40 miles an hour and gusts to 60. Also, behind this front, temperatures will drop quite dramatically with a cool down of 30 degrees expected. Along this front, as it moves west of El Paso, there's a potential for thunderstorms to develop. In the mountains, we're looking at the potential for moderate to heavy snowfall Sunday through early Tuesday, and then across the lowlands there is possibility of a rain-snow mix. In the worst case scenario, we're looking at some very strong winds over west slopes and through passes as the front moves through, with gusts possibly all the way up to 70 miles an hour. And also, as those thunderstorms develop well out west and southwest New Mexico, we could see some isolated severe storms with large hail and damaging outflow winds. Then over the mountains, we're looking at some snow totals that could approach up to 15 inches over Sacramento Mountains, and then 6 to 10 inches in the other area mountains to the west. Across the lowlands, although not likely, we could see some snow accumulations of 1 to 3 inches, especially over Hudspeth, Otero, and Sierra counties. For impacts associated with the wind, we're looking at isolated property damage, downed trees, scattered to widespread power outages, hazardous driving due to buffeting winds, and maybe lower visibilities and blowing dust. So this impacts the higher profile vehicles and motorcycles especially. And then also we could see some wind and snow combining for blowing snow, leading to some blizzard conditions, especially up in the higher terrain. The impacts associated with snow are predominantly associated with the travel across the area mountains, with passes maybe being closed, icy, snow-packed roads, requiring plowing, causing delays and treacherous travel, and also the near blizzard conditions in the mountains, if they develop, could produce near zero visibility. And then in the lowlands, there is still that possibility for some snow, although lighter, east and north of El Paso, Las Cruces area, which could impact the roadways and travel. Currently, there are no watches or warnings in place, as we're still several days ahead of this event, and we still need to lock in on some of those numbers that we need. But looking forward, within the next 24 to 36 hours, it's quite likely we'll be issuing wind advisories for most of the lowlands and the Sacramento Mountains for Sunday into Sunday evening, with wind warnings expected across west slope areas and through passes, which would impact like West El Paso and parts of Las Cruces. And then also winter storm warnings for the area mountains Sunday evening through Tuesday, especially above 6,000 feet, with some heavy snow expected. And then it's possible that we would also need to issue some winter weather advisories for some of the area lowlands, especially east and north of El Paso and Las Cruces. This is a quick look at the weather scenario that's unfolding. We have high pressure at the surface pushing this strong cold front with this Canadian cold air into the region. This is Sunday morning into Sunday afternoon and evening. We're looking at, with the arrival of this front, very strong winds of 30 to 40 miles an hour, gusts to 50 plus, and strong cooling. And this also initiates the potential for mountain snow and lowland rain. Aloft, we look at this upper level storm that's moving in from the west. Sunday afternoon, it's over the northern portion of the Baja and tracking our way as this front moves through. Monday afternoon, the system is pretty much overhead over the area. This is when we see the primary window of opportunity for impacts across our region. And then Tuesday afternoon, the system is beginning to pull away with dry air moving back in. Here's a graphic that shows El Paso forecast high temperatures, and it shows the dramatic difference in temperatures prefrontal and postfrontal. We look at today and tomorrow, we're in the lower to mid 80s, about 20 to 25 degrees above normal. The front moves through Sunday, and we see a significant drop in temperatures to well below normal, or well below what we've been seeing. And then they cool further for Monday and Tuesday as we go below normal. Another look regionally at what this temperature drop looks like. On the left are forecast highs for Friday, Monday's forecast on the right, and you can see the big drop of 30 to 35 degrees across the region. So although it feels like winter's behind us, we are still seeing the likelihood that we will return to winter-like conditions across the area late weekend into early week. This is the precipitation forecast amounts across the region for Sunday through Tuesday. The lowlands look like they average about 1/4 to 1/2 of an inch, and the mountains average precipitation of 3/4 to 1 inch liquid, and you get more precipitation as you move north and east across the region and less as you move south and west. Now looking at the snow forecast amounts, the heavier snow, of course, is up in the mountains with 10 to 12 inches expected over the Sacramento Mountains at this time, and 5 to 8 over the western mountains, the Black and the Gila region mountains. Across the lowlands, just a sprinkle of snow rain mix, except for when you go east and north, you'll see slight chances for 1 to 3 inches in some of those areas. Some of the uncertainties, this forecast scenario is still several days ahead of us, and so there's still some model disagreement and therefore some increased forecast or uncertainty at this time. But we are looking at the potential uncertainties being wind strength, snow levels, just how much cold air will move in and just how low will those snow levels move. Will we see significant lowland snow? Then finally the snow totals across the mountains. There is potential for very wide range of amounts as you move from east to west, and so each location will see some variability in the snow amounts. So just to summarize the impacts, both for snow and wind, it's primarily with the driving across the region. With snow, we're looking at icy snow-packed roads above 6,000 feet, causing potential for road closures and treacherous driving. In the low country, we're looking at buffeting winds and dust. And then we're also looking at the isolated property damage, power outages, and downed trees due to the high winds. And that concludes this outlook for the next significant weather scenario we're seeing this weekend and earlier next week. There is uncertainty, and we are still a few days out, so we encourage you to keep in touch with the current forecast updates. And we thank you. Bye-bye.